In this video, we're going to talk about Mileta Miljanic, the leader of notorious Group America, his rise to the top, and how he was able to turn his gang into one of the most successful and complex criminal organizations in the world. So without further ado, let's get started. Early life. Mileta Miljanic was born in 1960 in Gacko, a town and municipality located in Republika Srpska, an entity of Bosnia and Herzegovina, situated in the region of East Herzegovina. No one knows exactly when he left the Balkans. What we do know, though, is that he was issued a U.S. Social Security number in New York City between 1982 and 1984. When he came to America, Miljanic and his best friend Zoran Jaksic, an emigree from Zrenjanin, a small town in Serbia, worked as bodyguards for none other than Boško the Jugo Radonjic, the leader of Group America at the time. The two friends were both convicted in the 1980s of crimes related to credit card fraud and spent time in federal prisons. Miljanic was sentenced to 3 years in prison, but he served just 20 months, while Jaksic was paroled after serving some of his 5-year sentence. Unlike Miljanic, his best friend was soon back in prison for a parole violation. Jaksic spent much of the early 1990s in prison. Before continuing with Miljanic's rise to the very top of Group America, let's talk about the group's origins first. How Mileta Miljanic became the leader of Group America. The story of the notorious Group America begins all the way back in 1970, when a then young Serbian citizen by the name of Boško Jaksic, who eventually became known as the Jugo, emigrated to the United States from what was then Yugoslavia. Radonjic was already known for his criminal activities, but he was also known as the fierce opponent of Yugoslavia's communist regime. He was on a different side of the political spectrum, as a supporter of the Karađorđević family, Serbia's exiled royal family. Radonjic was convicted and imprisoned in the United States for a series of bomb plots targeting Yugoslav diplomatic missions. After serving his time, he became an acolyte of Jimmy Coonan in the 1980s. Coonan was the leader of an ultra-violent Irish-American gang known as the Westies, a criminal organization that dominated New York's old Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. But Coonan and the other leaders were soon arrested, and it was Radonjic who became the leader of the Westies. The group flourished under Radonjic's leadership, who even had ties with the Gambino Mafia family, led by the infamous Dapper Don John Gotti. When Dapper Don was facing racketeering charges in 1986, it was Radonjic who helped tamper with the jury. Anyway, Boško Jaksic, his two bodyguards Mileta Miljanic and Zoran Jaksic, and other members of the gang returned to the Balkans as Yugoslavia disintegrated and Serbian nationalism led by President Slobodan Milosevic surged in the early 1990s. It was then that Boško Radonjic allegedly won support from elements in Serbia's security service. It's believed that the security service provided the gang with weapons and shielded them from both local and international investigations. Allegedly. Around that time, Radonjic's younger associate, Vojislav Rajčević, also known as Voja the American, joined him in Belgrade, Serbia, and was given control of the gang. It was under Rajčević's rule that the gang transformed into what's now known as Group America. The group quickly turned into a disciplined and secretive international criminal organization that focused on cocaine smuggling from South America to Europe. The members of Group America were also suspected to be involved in multiple contract killings, but they were never charged, likely due to their ties with the Serbian security service. It was the Croatian Secret Service wiretap that revealed the details of the conversation between Marko Milosevic, the son of Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic, and another man. The two were discussing Group America leader Rajčević, who is described as working for Boško Bojović, a senior Montenegrin spy loyal to Milosevic. Rajčević vanished that same year. After Rajčević's disappearance, his brother, Veselin Vesko Rajčević, also known as Mida, or the Little Bear, called a meeting to plan a campaign that would root out traitors and exact revenge. Boško Bojović also attended the meeting. The first thing they did was take Rajčević's suspected assassin, Misha Svetićanin, to a Belgrade villa. They tortured him until he named his conspirators. After that, he was dismembered with a chainsaw. What followed was the bloody revenge spree against Rajčević's killers, which resulted in murder of 2 rival gang heads, a police general, 2 Group America turncoats, and one of their fathers. After the killing was done, it was Mileta Miljanic who took over as the new leader of Group America. Activities after the fall of Slobodan Milosevic. When he became the leader of Group America, Mileta Miljanic was in his late 30s. He was known to be a man capable of both incredible loyalty and calculated cruelty. Miljanic was also very prepared for the position of a new leader, psychologically as well. He knew exactly how to assess people through their feelings and stories, making him untouchable. It was under Miljanic's rule that Group America became a more complex and more lucrative criminal organization. After the resignation of Serbia's leader Slobodan Milosevic on 5th of October 2000, it was the reformist government led by Prime Minister Zoran Đinđić that took over. The new government was seen as hostile to organized crime. Group America didn't like that, and they responded with domestic terrorism. The first thing they did was assassinate Police General Boško Buha on the banks of the Danube in 2002. In the raids that followed, the Serbian police recovered a number of weapons, including 2 pistols and an assault rifle registered to Serbia's security service from the home of a Group America member. 2 state security officers were charged, but the case has languished in the courts ever since. The prosecutors also accused the members of Group America of planning to kill senior government officials in order to create fear among citizens and an atmosphere of inviolable power. Even Prime Minister Đinđić himself was thought to be the target of the group. In March 2003, Đinđić was indeed assassinated by a sniper, but the assassination was eventually credited to a rival gang, the Zemun clan. Former leader of Group America, Boško Radonjić, was held in police custody, but he was eventually charged only with illegal possession of ammunition. Radonjić died of natural causes in 2011. Operations. Back to Miljanic. 1 year after he became the leader of Group America, his best friend Zoran Jaksic was arrested by police in Peru. The police seized 1.22 kilograms of Group America cocaine that was hidden in spray cans and was destined for Miami. But that didn't stop him from running the group's cocaine business from his cell at Miguel Castro prison while awaiting trial in Lima, Peru. In 2019, Jaksic was implicated in an escape plot and moved to the maximum security Ancon 1 prison, where he is now serving a 25-year sentence for drug trafficking. In 2000, Bosnian police seized a 164-kilogram consignment, also linked to Group America. If you're wondering about the structure of Group America, it's believed that the gang has no more than 15 core members, and perhaps 100 regular associates scattered all around the globe, but who travel internationally as needed. The group's membership can only be described as fluid, often associating with other gangs in different regions. The group typically hires Serbian and Montenegrin sailors to smuggle shipments of less than 100 kilograms on commercial vessels and cruise ships sailing from South America to Europe, paying them on delivery. By doing this, they're able to reduce the cost of lost shipments. This approach also offers less incentive for authorities to spend time and money going after the group's leaders. The group is also known for its efficient management and ability to react quickly when threatened. As for Miljanic, he was somehow able to lead a quiet life in New York, in the plain 6-flat brick row house in Ridgewood, a working-class Queens neighborhood. His only known extravagance is a villa and acreage in Serbia. However, on May 31, 2010, police were informed that Miljanic would be flying from Belgrade to Thessaloniki in northern Greece. He was arrested as he changed planes in Rome. He was eventually sentenced to 7 years in prison and a €40,000 fine for drug distribution, which is a punishment more fitting of a low-level drug operative than the head of a global trafficking network. Miljanic was then sent to a prison in the northeastern Italian town of Tolmezzo, where he spent time picking fruit and gardening in a program called A Garden to Escape. And if that wasn't enough, he was also granted regime di semi-libertà, a kind of parole that allowed him to spend much of his time outside of prison unsupervised. So it came as no surprise that he disappeared on August 25, 2014, 13 months before completing his sentence. It wasn't until February 23, 2021, that the FBI arrested Mileta Miljanic in his home in New York during a search of his apartment, when officers found a gun in the drawer of his nightstand. He was sentenced to 16 months in prison. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Till next time.